press conference where we have Remco Evenepoel. A little bit of housekeeping to begin with. As usual, the call will be recorded, so if anyone who would like the recording afterwards, please let me know. I'm going to add now that we've all spoken a lot about the stories in the news the last few weeks. I don't think we need to do that now today. So let's keep it about the Vuelta, Remco's preparation and expectations for the race. All other subjects we can talk about another time. Hopefully everyone's okay with that. Who would like to go first? George, I think, hand up first.
Hi Remco,
Hello.
what are your expectations for that Vuelta exactly?
Do not have COVID. That's an expectation, hopefully. No, I don't know. Yeah, like always, hoping for a stage win, be up there in a GC, kind of learn new things about myself, about the team. But like I said, especially stage wins and going for the final podium in Madrid would be the big goal for this Vuelta.
Okay, George, do you want to go?
Yeah, thank you very much. Good afternoon, Remco. It's George from GCN here. I noted in your really good interview with Lanterne Rouge last week that you spoke about improving yourself on steep finishes. Now, we've got the steepest of the lot in the Vuelta in the Angliru. Is there any training in particular you've done for the Angliru? Have you been to the mountain itself to train on it and test your legs on such an immense climb? I'll just add you muted. Sorry. Sorry.
There you go. You're
Sorry. Well, I think I've been there. I've been at Angliru to the recon of that stage. I did the climb on about race pace, so I know what to come. It's very steep, of course, and I think having seen that finish and the stage in particular is quite a good thing. Last year in the Vuelta, we didn't do any recons, and I had some, let's say, disadvantages from that. And now with seeing the most important stages, I think it can only be an advantage in terms of knowing what is coming. But yeah, it's a very steep one, but it's not the only one. I think the day after we have Cruz de Linares. Also, this one is very steep. Tourmalet, the last 2K, 3K is also pretty steep. So there's a lot of steep climbs in this Vuelta. And also very long. So it's, yeah, I think it has been good that I saw those stages and that I've been training on longer and steeper climbs in my preparation.
Thank you. Do you know what shirt that is?
Can you go a bit up with your chest? I don't know.
The very old Burnley.
Burnley, yeah, I wanted to say
Yeah,
Burnley.
yeah,
I wanted
yeah,
to say Burnley, yeah.
Thank
Company,
you.
Sydney,
Hero, please.
Hi Remco, hi Phil, hi everyone. Remco, the question is, certainly you trained a lot specifically for the wartime trial. So I imagine you trained a lot for the time trial. Is it something, in your opinion, that can affect your performance on mountains as Angliru, Tourmalet also, and others in this Vuelta, or not really?
I think what can have the biggest effect on my Vuelta is your t-shirt.
Yeah, I imagine.
No, yeah, probably a bit because for the World Championship TT, it was quite a flat TT. So you want to play a bit, I mean, not play, but you want to look what is the best weight for this TT, what is the best preparation. But the good thing is it was a long TT of about 1 hour. So Tourmalet, Angliru, all those longer climbs will be a bit of the same effort in terms of power. Of course, it's a different course, a different race, but the duration of the effort is almost the same. So I think that's also a good thing that the TT was long. But yeah, in terms of weight, it's it's correct that the last 10 days I had to lose a bit of the weight after the TT, but that was actually quite easy, so that worked out well. So I think that was the biggest change that we still had to make in the last 2 weeks.
Thank you. Yuri, please.
Yeah, hi Remco. Thanks also Phil for the opportunity. No fancy shirt here. But
That looks quite fancy from here.
Yeah, it looks even more fancy actually.
One question, Remco, particularly, you just said is the goal to be on the end podium in Madrid. Please correct me if I'm wrong, but is that like a little bit safer goal? Because normally I would expect that the guy who won last year would say, okay, I'm going for the win again. Or is that, don't understand it correctly?
No, I think I already said it a lot, but to say I'm going to win a Grand Tour is very difficult because there's so many things that can happen. I've been faced with that in the Giro. So I think I already improved a bit because last year I wanted to say I'm going for a top 10, then I won. So then I won, and now I'm saying I'm hoping for top 3, which is I think fair play because in my opinion it's very difficult to say I will win this Grand Tour because a bad day is very easy to get. Yeah, becoming ill or sick is also pretty easy and quick. Having a crash can happen at every second of every stage. So that's the reason why I say I want to go for the end podium and stage wins. Because imagine if I have 3 or 4 stage wins, but I'm 12th or 10th in GC, then it's still a very good Vuelta. So that's why I say hoping for a stage win and a top 3 spot is the main goal of the team, as we always have.
Is it also more difficult giving the field of what's now in Vuelta if you look at the last year? Because now with Roglic, with Vingegaard, Almeida, Ayuso, Mas, the only one who's missing perhaps is Pogacar, but all the rest of the top guys are here in Spain this week.
Yeah, exactly. But of course, also last year there were a lot of those guys. Some guys they fell out with the COVID or had a crash, so that's why I say it's difficult to predict the Grand Tour. But for sure, I think it will be a very high level. Everybody is riding on a high level. Roglic just won Burgos. Jonas is Jonas. I became world champion. Time trial, so it also means I have a good shape. The other guys are also doing very well in the last couple of weeks. Vlasov is ready. Almeida is always ready. Ayuso exactly the same. So G for sure will also be ready. Team Ineos, they will all be ready. So it's going to be a very high level in the bunch. But I think then with the heat and with the difficult course, you can also expect for some guys to get out of the mix pretty soon. Also, I think.
Good. Thanks a lot.
Thank you, Yuri. Michael, please.
Yes, Remco, I'm wearing stylish black as you. Or it's a
dark
color.
I have dark blue. I have dark blue.
I wanted to talk about your love for Spain and the love of Spain for you. You raced a lot in Spain. What do you like so much about racing in Spain? And second question is, how are the Spanish people treating you different from fans in Belgium, in Italy?
First of all, I think, there's just kind of a click with Spain that I just cannot explain. I train there a lot in the winter, as everybody knows. A lot of altitude camps in Spain as well, like I did now in Andorra. I know it's not Spain. I shouldn't have said that, but I've been training a lot in Spain, riding out of Andorra. So it's just a country that I have a kind of a click with. I don't know, maybe the climbs, the roads, the descents, everything suits me pretty well in Spain. I like the characteristics of Spain. It's always pretty brutal, and it always invites to race on those roads. So maybe that's something why I really like it. And about the fans, I don't know. It's a bit the same. They're all quite excited when they see me. Some don't even realize that it's me sometimes. So I don't know. It's a bit the same as everywhere. But of course, I think Spanish fans, they always have this kind of fire in them where they are super excited to watch the race or to see riders. So yeah, I think that's a bit it.
Thank you. Bram, please.
Thank you.
Bram?
Yes, yeah, sorry, I have to wait for the microphone. About the team time trial on Saturday, can you explain what your role there will be? 14 kilometers on the front and the rest in your wheel, or how do you, what's your pace plan?
Completely the opposite. 14 kilometers in the wheel to save all my energy. No. Of course, there's a strategy. It's a completely different TTT compared to last year. It's pretty technical, but I will not do it alone. We have very strong guys in the team. Catania, Bajoli, Pedersen, and myself. I think the four of us will be the big kind of motors in the team, and the others just have to keep the pace and give us a rest. So I think we have to look for the best setup or lineup, I have to say. So the pace can always be very high, but it will be pretty difficult to find that lineup. But of course, yeah, we will see tomorrow and tonight maybe already what we will do with the lineup and the tactics and all of that. But for sure, I will not ride alone on the front.
Thank you. Hugo, please.
Hi, Remco. I want you were talking about to learn something about yourself and about the team. What do you want to learn from yourself and from the team and this Vuelta? I see also that the team is very different in comparison with next year in names.
Yes. About myself, probably kind of racing a bit more in defensive mode. If you compare the Vuelta with last year, it's a bit the opposite. The first week is already hard, but it's not going to be decisive. So I expect the second week and the third week to be to have the most decisive stages. So it's completely the opposite. Then on the other hand, there's teams where you only see big names and they can really kind of take all the pressure and workload on their shoulders. So that's also something for us that we can kind of ride a bit more defensive. And just another 3 weeks. Hopefully fully 3 weeks where I can just discover again how I'm doing in longer climbs again, higher altitude climbs. And against the best GC rider of the last few months, with Jonas in the bunch, I think, and Primoz. I think those two just show always that they are there, whatever race it is. So just comparing my level with their level, and for the team, just kind of learning again how to work together, creating a friendship boundary, and also just go through fire and through the wall for each other. That's the most important for us this year or this next month.
Giro.
Yes, Remco, so far in 2023, 5 riders, I mean you, Vingegaard, Pogacar, Roglic and Mathieu van der Poel, I think showed a level really above all the other riders for results. In your opinion, among these 5 riders, who has been so far the best for results in this season? Who has impressed you the most?
I think in terms of numbers should be Pogacar because he has 90 victories, something like this, or 150. No, I don't know. 16, 17 victories.
I think 16.
Yeah, so he's the most. So I think in terms of results, he's number 1. But if we look at the quality of the results, I would say it's Mathieu because 2 monuments, world champion, 2nd in Flanders, 2nd in E3. So if you see those results, it's pretty phenomenal. as well. But then, yeah, also Primoz, he won every race he started. So, what a difficult question, Chiro. Come on.
Yeah, I know. I'm here for this. I mean, I'm the specialist of difficult question.
But I think if we speak in terms of regularity, it's going to be Primoz because he just won every race he started, and it has all been World Tour except for Burgos. But I think the most impressive victories is probably Van der Poel, in my opinion. But then, of course, Pogacar also wins everything, and Vingegaard wins Dauphiné Tour. So it's too difficult to answer. But they are all impressive in their way. But I think Mathieu is probably the most impressive one for this year. After me. No. No, Mathieu is number one, yes.
Thank you. Fran, please.
Hello, Remco. Hello, everyone from this lively bar in Zaragoza where they just put some music, so maybe you can hear some cheerful music in the background. This question is about languages. Remco, I know that you moved to Spain this season. What's your level of Spanish, of understanding and of talking? And also about the Arab, because I heard that you are learning Arab in order to better communicate with the family of your fiancé. Can you please tell us a bit about that?
Well, the Spanish is going okay. The Arab language is going a bit less okay. It's pretty difficult, but I start to learn some words, more or less, to say. But in Spanish, I can say a small sentence like habla un poquito español, no mucho, pero un poquito. But in Arab, I cannot say this, unfortunately.
Thank you, Fran. Yuri, please.
Muy bueno, Remco.
That was super Dutch. Super Dutch accent.
Remco, given the fact you obviously won the Vuelta last year, you came in the first place, I think, after stage 6, and you stayed in the leader's jersey for the whole Vuelta. I know it's always easy for us as journalists to say, you perhaps don't want the jersey that early in the Grand Tour, but is it something that you take with you? Like, if you have the choice, you would get the leader's jersey perhaps a bit later because all the things you have to do, like press conference, like podium ceremonies. Is there something like that you, if the possibility is there, could choose, then you would have the leader's jersey perhaps a little bit later in the Grand Tour?
Yes, actually, yes. I think it wouldn't be a lie if I say that in the first 9 days we would not like to have the leader's jersey, and if by accident we get it, to try to give it away as fast and as easy as possible to a rider, which shouldn't be the most dangerous one for the final GC. But of course, a leader's jersey is a leader's jersey, so you also want to try and enjoy it. But I think it's fair if I say that the first 9 days we're not super interested to take the red jersey.
And then just one question further, you also are a contender for the best young rider jersey, which also makes the same. You also have to do press conference, mix on everything. In the Giro, you gave away the jersey to Leknesund, I think, who was also in the young riders classification. Can you pick a rider who could be then also taking the white jersey, because then you don't have any responsibilities afterwards?
Yeah, true. I think this is something you have to see during the race. If Klaas and Geert and Ilio get the names of the leaders, and we see that somebody that can take the jersey and even the white jersey is in, then that's good. If it's not, then it's just a situation and we have to deal with it. But of course, I'm not very sure that the white jersey has all the same obligations as the red. But of course, it's very difficult to discuss about this now. But I think we just have to see in the situation about that, especially for the white jersey.
Thanks.
Okay, we're going to take the last 2 or 3 questions now. We'll go back to Burnley with George.
Yeah, well, first off, Remco, I do believe that if Phil hadn't interjected, you would have guessed that it was Burnley. I do believe that.
I really wanted to say Burnley.
There we
It
are.
looks a bit like the logo like now.
Yeah, absolutely.
little
It's a bit older. It's 2005, so when we were a bit younger. But as for my question, I think the tendency when someone like Jonas is announced to start at the World Tour is to say it's a bad thing for Remco because the Tour de France champion, it's another rival. Is there a part of you that likes when big riders like Jonas, obviously Geraint Thomas, you're coming up against them again in Spain? Is there a part of you that enjoys that because, as you've already alluded to, you get to test yourself against the best in the world?
Yeah, exactly. And also, you can steal with your eyes, It's like he knows how to win the Tour de France, so he probably also knows how to win this Vuelta. So it's a bit of trying to copy as much as possible and take it in my backpack to next year's tour. And also just during the next 3 weeks and during, I don't know, one week World Tour races of next year. So it's just something exciting actually. It's I raced him a few times, not too many times. So yeah, I think it's only a good thing for the bunch, for cycling, for the Vuelta, for himself, for everybody. So it's always a big challenge when you see a big name like that at the start line. And yeah, I'm happy that he's here.
Thank you. Bram, please.
Yeah. How do you adapt to the heat? It's freaking hot in here in Barcelona now, and it will be in the Vuelta for 3 weeks, I think.
Yeah, you can train a bit for it. You can yeah, try to do some efforts in hot places. Doing some sauna sessions maybe. But I already saw that Monday is going to be much colder. So looks like we're not gonna have the same heat for the full 3 weeks probably. But of course, yeah, training in the heat also has a lot of advantages in kind of building up the shape and stuff like that. So they're already comparing heat trainings with the altitude training sessions. So looks like it has a lot of sense to training in hot conditions, but of course it's very uncomfortable. So yeah, trying to adapt yourself as much as possible by training and kind of staying at hot places, locations. That's how you can prepare yourself the best, I think, for heat conditions.
Okay, thank you, ladies and gentlemen. As mentioned, if anybody would like to like the recording of this session, please let me know. Thank you.
Thanks for the possibilities again.
Thank you.
Bye bye.